And so, the autumn has arrived. Although some of the flowers are still blooming, the stems and leaves are changing from greens to reds and browns. What a transformation from just a little while ago when I bought my tropical plants, which would really give that extra touch for the cottage for it to feel more Mediterranean. If only. Unlike in England, where this could actually be still possible by protecting the plants, wrapping some insulation around their stems during winters, if I let them outdoors here in Latvia, it wouldn't be too long until they froze to death. So after replanting them into bigger pots, I just had to take them indoors. But it would be pretty stupid of me to dwell on what I cannot change. Instead, I'm enjoying what's available. And as you can see, some of the spring flowers have decided to come out again. Now, just look at this one for a minute. I'm thinking, would I cut this lawn or not? The one I planted, seeded, and so it never had a trim. Because it looks so soft and so amazing, and Snoopy loves to sleep in there. And that bush within that lawn looks amazing. And so, I don't know, for winter, shall I cut it before winter? Just mow it? Or shall I leave it like this? Will it survive? Will it come back next summer? What do you reckon, guys? I've got so many of these plums, but I cannot reach them up there, so I need to wait till they fall. Apples, Snoopy. Your apples? Is it? Yeah. Also, I have some apples going, but they are nowhere near to be ready. I think they are late autumn crop. We'll keep an eye on them. Now listen to this. So when plums had fallen, I spent hours to collect, wash and deep-it them. It's boiling, it's boiling, it's boiling. So this is gonna be my pudding. And this one is gonna be my jam. My jam. Yeah, and this is it. This is us. Enjoying this amazing space. And can you just imagine how nice it's gonna look when the curtains are up, when this wall is painted, when the lamp is changed, when the surfaces have been made, and I will have my workspaces there, and the doors put in, and the walls put in, and there, and also this one built, and also this corner fixed. Yeah, so basically I am enjoying this space, and I am cooking my jams, and I am making a pudding from the plums, and meanwhile I can sit in the kitchen whilst it's boiling and work on my computer and just watch some videos and just enjoy the space properly. Like before, I just came into kitchen to make some food and get something from fridge, and that's all. All I wanted just to get out of here as quick as possible, but now I really can't get enough. Whilst I was talking to you, the whole thing burned. What a shame. All my work for nothing. Apparently you have to keep a close eye and stir it constantly whilst the jam is boiling. Never mind, we'll live and learn. On a positive note, I've got these out of my greenhouse. As the weather gone cold and there's often some fog around, I had to take all the tomatoes inside and put them on a windowsill, where they hopefully will continue to ripen. I also had collected some interesting things on our walks and left them to dry, to be used for my upcoming art and craft projects. Also, when I was little, I've seen my great-grandma doing this. so the leaves would press nicely and then they can be used to make postcards or something like that. Anyways, these were my last courgettes, which along with flowers I cooked for one of my meals. Then I've got some more plums fallen and thankfully managed to make a bit of jam. Also I had some new rhubarb regrown, so I've got a jar of rhubarb jam as well. And yeah, that's how much goodies I have made, all to be enjoyed in winter. Talking about winter, at the moment I'm still not feeling like traveling. I'm very much so enjoying the cottage renovations and doing art projects, but also Snoopy really loves here. So I thought, if we aren't going anywhere, it would be fun to get a bike and instead of walking, go on bike rides time to times. Wow. Snoopy. You go drink water there. Yay! There we spotted this structure. I instantly liked it. Furthermore, it gave me an amazing idea. So, a quick little sketch just to show you my idea. So basically, there would be like a board, basically like a sandbox. So to hold the sand in place, these would be like branches, little sticks from outside to support this box and to prevent sand from going all over the place. So the sand would go in there. And then within this box, I want to make like a candle holder. So the candle holder would be like this shape, and then a leaf would go over on this side here to cover the candle holder. The candle would be in there. And so when the candle burns through these holes, the leaf, the light would shine nicely. And then I want to make a vase like that, where to put like flowers or sticks or grass in there. And then also I want to make like a little holder for the scent stick. You stick the stick in there and then you burn the stick. And then also I want to make an animal sitting perhaps nicely, chilling. After coming up with the idea, I thought once we were out here, we might as well collect some natural bits and pieces for this project, like sticks and sand. Good one, this one. This one, a good one. Snoopy, Snoopy. Wow, what a lucky find this was. And the sand was just the right consistency, just as I had pictured it in my head. Put it in there. First I want to create these items to see how big they are, and then accordingly how big they are, then I will know how big the sandbox would need to be. And so here is my famous apple on which we're gonna create stuff with clay. And this time we only will take out as much as we need as we go, okay? keep the rest of it in this package. So we'll start with a vase. Okay, and the vase I want to be kind of like this big perhaps. And so now we need to make a shape. So see, like this. See, and then we sit it nicely. And then all what's left is to make the top of the vase, which would be like this, yeah. But then it still doesn't look nice. And here I want to kind of make impression that the vase really can hold things, like it's like a proper vase, although it won't be. You will see in the end. So to make an impression that it is a real vase, I would need to go like this until it looks real from outside, like this. But then I don't think it looks proportional. I think this part is a bit too big, and what I will do, I will just scissor some off to make it smaller and proportional with the whole thing. Okay, now it looks much better, yes. And just make the edges looking nice. And actually I can scrape some of the clay out, the excess, like that, nicely. See, it gives impression that you can put stuff in there, but it's not meant to be for that, but it is meant to hold something. So for that I need to make hole 1 or 2 holes to be able to hold something. And so I do that with a little toothpick, and here you have it. A vase where you can put stuff in there. Okay, the next one is gonna be the candle holder, and I just need to make it stable enough to support the candle, but also to hold up the leaf. And so here would be where the candle will go. See, I rather have a bigger piece, and then I can cut off bits than having a small one and then having to stick clay together, which then, you know, hardens the whole process, because then it can parts can break off, and yeah, it's not that efficient anymore. So better to have one whole piece as it comes, kind of like this. Like this is the size of the ordinary tea light basically, yeah, not the candle but tea light. And then I want to flatten out where the tea light will be sitting, and basically this is it for now, because now I need to put that on the side and make leaves. And for the leaf I am rolling a little bowl. That I think will be enough for the leaf, but as I said, I don't want it to be too thin either, because they tend to break. And just flatten out the strawberry shape. You can use like a little roller, the pastry roller. Design requires it to be precise and realistic and nice, basically. Yeah, it might be too thin, but we'll see. We'll see. Can only tell when you roll out completely. Okay, and that's actually looking like a leaf, to be honest. And so the idea is for it to go here. And then we need to make the holes and shapes as for the leaf. And yeah, so these are the leaves I'm trying to make. I need to be very careful where I cut and how much I cut. And here is the ready leaf, like this. I don't want to move it too much because it's pretty fragile, and so it's gonna go there in front of this candle holder like this. But as I said, I can't stick it on right now because it's impossible. It's just impossible. It's too bendy, so I need to dry this and then glue it on afterwards. And for the scent stick, fragrance stick, or whatever you call it, I think I will just make a simple thing, like for example, like a ball actually. Well, I think which would go with the whole feng shui very well. So I'm just rolling out the ball as neatly as I can, and then kind of make a flat surface for the ball to sit on, like it's a ball but it still has a little bit of bottom, so I wouldn't roll around. So we need to make a hole for the scent stick to go in. Alright, so we make all the way as far as we can go, so it would hold it properly. Yes, and so we make sure that we have a hole and that the stick would hold in nicely. And actually, looking at all the items we already made, it's pretty enough, and so it would be far too much to make like a large animal, right? That would take up so much space and there wouldn't be much left for the sandbox, actual sandbox, for the sand, I mean. So I am having this little ball, and what will we make? Let me see. And I want to leave it in one piece so that I don't have to glue anything on and making this thing weaker. So let's say like this, perhaps. I just need to imagine. This is obviously the head. Okay. And we need little earrings, right? Little earrings. Starting to take shape, doesn't it? Can you guess what that is? And the whole thing is in one piece. And we not even had breakfast yet, eh? Perfection. Look at this. Isn't that bloody amazing? Wow. And now all what's left is to make it look a bit more real. And so here we have all the pieces. And now once these pieces are dried, then we will assemble them together. Then it was time to make the platform, which needed to look similar to the structure which I saw in the woods. Also to make it in a way so that it can hold sand. Yes, basically a sandbox. Firstly, I was thinking to use tiny screws to screw the sticks together as well as to attach them to the base, but as I wanted to use as less artificial items as possible, I opted for the wooden glue instead. I glued the first layer, then the second layer of sticks. I liked the natural effect, but unfortunately I had to address the gaps, otherwise it wouldn't be able to hold any sand in it. This part really took me some brainstorming. I was coming up with many different ideas, but nothing seemed to look right, until I chose to do it in the simplest way, using a duct tape. And although it wasn't the most beautiful thing in the world, when I filled it with the sand, it was perfect. Then to play with the sand, which is a great part of the Zen garden, I thought I will have a go in making a miniature rake out of smaller sticks. Then using toothpicks which would assist with the raking, I drilled tiny holes along the stick and then just pushed the toothpicks inside like this. Then once all the parts were done, it was just a matter of gluing them together. And I gotta say, I never knew that making a mini version of an adult item would be such fun. And so, now I could finally start to arrange all the items nicely and see how something, which a little while was just another idea, had become together and manifested in a physical form.